Hello, and welcome to another episode of Talks with the Tax Cop. I am, of course, the tax cop. Y'all gonna have to tell me how I come up with an introduction, because I'd be like, blah, 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 every week. This is Patrice Berry. I am the tax cop. Today's podcast is gonna be really, really interesting. Those of y'all that are looking and seeing it on YouTube, I know y'all are like, what is wrong with y'all? However, those who are listening, the giggles and everything like that are going to come. It's going to be a very candid conversation. So turn your volume down now. I'm already going to tell you because I know I'm going to be in your ear. Okay. So this week's interview is with someone who is so dear to me, not only because she brings light and laughter and we're known in our inner circle as 2.0 and 3.0, but just because she's my accountability partner. She brings a lot to the table. She's AKA Geek Squad for me, real talk. If I have anything I need to bounce against the wall or anything when it comes to how to work in this space as an accountant, as a tax preparer, as a professional, this is one of the top people that I call. She is my official accountability partner. I have two other official accountability partners. And so definitely wanted to get her in conversations. Anybody that's been on my Instagram has heard or seen a video of us talking in depth. I am going to introduce none other than Miss Myranda J Harper-Penn from Harper Business Solutions. She is the CEO, founder, principal owner of the accounting firm based out of North Carolina. And I'm so looking forward to today's conversation. So first and foremost, Fran, thank you for being on my podcast.
So excited to be here.
Isn't it crazy I even got a podcast?
Yes.
But first and foremost, the first thing I have anybody do is I did my introduction, but I want you to introduce yourself.
Well, you did such a great job. What you want me to tell the people?
Tell them who you are. Tell them about what Harper Business Solutions brings to the industry. Like, really, give the people what they want.
I am Myranda J Harper-Penn, principal owner of Harper Business Solutions. We are located in Raleigh, North Carolina. We are a company and a firm that provides advanced accounting solutions for the empire-driven CEO. Is that you? Questions. Who is the Empire CEO? I have people asking me that, like, Empire CEO? Who's the Empire CEO? The Empire CEO is the person or the individual, the business entity that is constantly looking for innovations and being proactive in finding enhancements and solutions for their business. Now, of course, some people say, but I don't own a business. Oh, yes, you do, because your household is a business. So you are you're the empire. You're building that empire. You're building generational wealth and things of that nature for your household. So don't discredit yourself just because you're not an official business owner. Every time you go grocery shopping, every time you budget, you're a business owner.
Right,
okay,
right.
You are a business owner now. But do you have an empire-driven mind? But we have been in place since 2015, officially. So this is year 7. It's technically year 8, but we have been going now for 8 years. The staff is lovely. Big up to my teams. Hey, what's up, Lindsay, Shauna, Michaela, Q, HB, and everybody else. They have definitely helped this business to grow. We work with individuals, small businesses, and nonprofits. Over the course of years, I have seen some of everything. Yeah.
I love it.
Give you the war stories and I give you the glory.
So we're going to go and what is your entrepreneurial superhero origin story? And I know that sounds crazy because I didn't say this when I was talking to Eric last week, but really, I think everybody needs to hear our entrepreneur superhero origin story. And I say superhero in the stance of sometimes, you got to talk yourself into even being that entrepreneur, because some days we don't feel like it. So
I quit once a week.
Come on, get an audience really how you got to this entrepreneur stance that you are in. Y'all heard her. She said 7/8 years. How did you get to this point?
So This is a journey that was long in the making, and I didn't realize that it was. This is not like, Peter Parker got spit and, he got bit by a spider and then all of a sudden he was like, "Ooh, ah." This is more like Bruce Wayne, parents got killed, he finally got to that point, he accepted it, but I mean, you said superhero, so
Come
I'm just
on,
kind of saying,
come on, put it out.
but, Clark Kent, I wasn't born into this, so this wasn't a Clark Kent type of situation in Superman where he was born in and then he, new family. That wasn't my story. That's not my plight. That wasn't it. My very first entrepreneurship venture, I was 12 years old baking pound cakes with my grandmother's recipe, and everybody wanted my pound cake. So it was like $25 a cake. And I remember first time I did one, it was at the church. Somebody was like, "Yo, who made this pound cake? Is that Sister so-and-so? Oh, Sister so-and-so." And they're like, "Oh, Sister Harper, you made this pound cake." My mother was like, "No, I don't bake. That's not me. That was Myranda." And they looking at this 12-year-old girl like, "Wait a minute. You baking like this?" I was like, and then next thing I know, I was baking daggone pound cakes for the Patterson family reunion that year and Thanksgiving. And that was my very first taste of entrepreneurship.
Cool.
And so growing up, I always knew, I would say I wanted to be a CEO of a firm. It was never my own. It was just of a firm. I wanted to be Myranda J Harper, JD, MBA, CPA. That was the thing. I was like, this is how it's going to go. That is not how the story went. Okay. It went a little bit different. However, I literally kept doing things that were entrepreneurial along the way, not making money, but me being a person that likes to educate folks. I was like, you know what, I'll help you out here, do your taxes. I'll help you doing this. No problem. I'll look over it because I had that background. And a certain person that's on this podcast, Patrice, threatened
like that will remain nameless. Like that's how they go. That will remain nameless.
No. This is like Two-Face, like the nemesis. Like she like put her other face on, was like threatened. I was like, ah, she threatened me. On a Friday, we was both working at the DOD and we up there having lunch. We just trying to eat some food. And I'm telling them about how, it's tax season. And I'm always helping people do taxes. I've been doing taxes at that point since 2003. This was 2011. And Patrice was like, "Girl, if you don't turn around and start a business," I was like, "I'm just trying to eat. Like, why we gotta go? What you gonna do? You gonna go home this weekend, you're gonna start your business, you're gonna get all your stuff together, and then you're gonna start charging folks to do this. And you better come back in here on Monday with all your stuff." I was like, I thought we was having lunch. Like, how we get here? But I took my black behind home and did exactly what she said, because she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pop you in the face." Like, well, wait a minute. Boop, boop. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why we gotta have all this violence? Okay, but all right. So I went home and I did what I was supposed to do. And the business started part-time in 2011 as tax time every day, because every day is tax time. Every time you go to the store, you paying taxes. You just may not realize it when you read that receipt, but it is tax time every day. And that was the official start of like the business. Now I said, when I turn 40, I'm working. I'll get to the point where I turn 40, I'll start my own business when I turn 40, because I'll have a nice little nest egg and it'll be good and I can walk out and do that. Good Lord was like, "Yeah, I got another plan for you." Boop, and I got pushed. So folks, hear ye. If the good Lord or the universe, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, whoever has told you to do something, please be obedient and move when you're supposed to move. Because see, I didn't move when I was supposed to move. I didn't come into my superpower heroes. I knew they were there, but I was like, nah, I don't want to recognize them. No. And what happened? Government shutdown happened in 2013. Now, mind you, I'm still working the business part-time. I'm working my good government job, my benefits and everything. And lo and behold, government shutdown happened September 30th, October 1st. We signed them papers, going on home. I was like, okay, life changed. When I got back, I got somebody who said, "We got a job offer for you." I was like, what? I don't even know. Resume, to this day, I don't know what resume they looked at. I have no idea. But guess what? I took that plight and came right on back down to North Carolina. And 4 months after I got back here to North Carolina and got all their audit records, everything straight, all your audit follow-up caught up. You see my face, right?
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. Got all that caught up, got you looking good. Train your staff on how to audit. You let me go. 4 months after. So I'm laying in the floor. Oh, Jesus, what I'm about to do it. I love my good government job, Lord. No. I was literally laid in the floor. I was good after being let go that Friday. I was like, oh. Monday, everybody was going to work. And I was like, this ain't right. I was laid in the floor. I applied for 311 jobs. Ended up getting 2 more jobs and got laid off of those too. But I'm still trying to work the business and do this at the same time. And now I'm sitting in church and the good Lord was like, oh, you want to listen? I can't tell you really what all was going on. I was just on the end of the pew and literally people were stepping over me. And I had my notebook with all the jobs I had applied for, what the statuses were and everything. I had it to a T. I still have that notebook. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Lo and behold, I walked outside. Church was over. I missed the whole thing, except for scripturally, we were preaching from the book of Matthew. Follow me now to the book of Matthew, chapter 6, where it talks about, we won't go in depth, but we'll talk just a little bit where it says, why do you worry? Are you not better than the birds?
Come on. Come on.
Why do you worry? Okay, so I was like, dang, I'm all worried. Obviously, I must be doing something wrong. I walked outside in the snow. I'm up in Alexandria, Virginia. I came on back up, I had shut house down and everything up there. So I came on back. I was like, dang, it snowed. I'm standing on snow-covered roots of a big old tree out in front of this church. I said, okay, Lord, obviously I'm doing something wrong here. And I guess I need to be doing this another way. So just show me what I need to do. Now, you already know I'm going to need my 5 minutes. So have you lost your mind? You want me to do this? So just give me my 5 minutes because you already knew that was going to happen. So don't even hold that against me. Give me my 5. But I'm going to come back and I'm going to do what you tell me to do. And I'm going to trust the process. I promise. I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to stay the course. Just show me.
Love it.
Doors open. Floodgates open.
Open.
That weekend, that following weekend was Super Bowl Sunday weekend. And
look at, no, y'all, no joke. Like, we recording this the Friday before Super Bowl Sunday. So y'all, anybody watching this looking at my face and it's really, I did not know, like, she's dropping tons of nuggets. Like, really, when you don't know what to do, when people not fire, like people fire you and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes it's a setup for a come up, like this, you know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to have church.
No, I ain't. Church is. See, people always think church is that 4 walls and that steeple. That ain't gonna save you. You better have church with you at every time. You are the church, okay? Right. So I literally, at that point, I just trust the process, and it has been using all of the skill sets from all the different jobs. I never understood why I could never walk straight into the accounting doors that I was trying to move and stay in that path. I worked from an auditor to an e-learning specialist, to a training coordinator, to an assistant manager of a marketing firm that had to be the person that was helping from where the cable is going to be set up from the internet line to how the daggone cubes was going to be set to hiring. I didn't understand that. There's not a sector, even before then, working in other people's small businesses, being the carrier person that got to go deliver it in New York City on a train. Like, I didn't understand how all of that flowed until I got full-time into this, because there's not a sector I haven't touched except for city and local government. I've worked in every other aspect of federal, state government, private, public, other people's nonprofits, other people's entrepreneurship in their business. I needed it because guess what? That has allowed me to be able to work every aspect of the business. I was able to do the marketing. I was able to do this because of the knowledge and the skills. So even though the route may not look traditional, that's what's helping you develop that superpower. So go back. Bruce Wayne, he had to train. He literally had to train.
Right,
He didn't
right.
just come up into this and be like, oh, he had to realize his destiny of coming in to assume his father's company and all those types. That wasn't what he was trying to do, even though he was born into, the money aspect,
Right,
but he
right,
wasn't
right.
trying to do all of that. I wasn't trying to do all of that until I got to this point.
Right.
Be like, oh, I turned 40 and I lost it all, y'all. I lost it all. The 401k, the car about to be repoed, you name it. It was happening. But I made a promise. I said, I'm gonna trust the process. And here we are, 8 years in, and I got a full staff and things are rolling where I can actually step back and do oversight project management and be able to do business development and not be in the details and the minutia of everything.
How many
So
times have you had to recreate, rebirth, start over?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Let's see. I can't count. It's like I can think of core times where that start over happened,
Right.
i.e., had a baby, had to start over, had another baby, had to continue on from there to build up, had to, worked and did some contract work with another business, another company. Okay, stepping out, letting it grow. Oh, wait, this website doesn't work. Company trying to sue you because they think that you using their stuff. You got to start over. Like that start over has been constant. You're constantly evolving. You're constantly changing. If you're not in entrepreneurship and each week or each quarter or even each month, something isn't flowing through your mind about how we need to grow, how I need to evolve. You're not checking those systems and stuff like that. You're going to be stagnant. And things that are stagnant die.
Yeah.
So you got to constantly be thinking about that. I've had to start over so many times, it makes no sense. And at first, it was viewing those things as almost like, man, I've lost because I have to start over.
Right.
And that was very early because that's switching from the corporate work government mindset of if you don't hit this mark, you've lost. You're less than.
Right.
To changing the thought process and the language of, oh, I didn't lose. We tried. Boom. All right, cool. Well, you got to learn how to welcome failure, accept the losses, and be willing to adapt, improvise, and overcome throughout that. Because if not, if you're afraid of failing, you don't need to be in entrepreneurship.
So let's stay here. Let's stay here for a minute because you hit that whole getting away from the whole pass fail, right? So we go from college or school, right? Education in the traditional school settings. We come into work. We realize that when we get a job, it's almost nothing like what you did when you were in school. So the first time somebody marked your stuff up, maybe it's just me, they put the red pen on your stuff and you take it like it's, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just me. And you feel like they put a big F on it, right? Because we come from that. So then you have to change your mindset. And then from there, you come out and you go into, or even like us, because we were really straddling the fence, right? Before you got pushed, before I got fully pushed full time, we're straddling the fence. But when this is what you wake up to, right? You have to take the time and say, it wasn't a failure, right? To my demise. It really truly is a point of growth. Or because I don't like to use the word necessarily try, even though you use this, hey, I tried. Hey, I'm always like, well, we need to tweak this. We need to tweak. That worked up to here, but this didn't. And as an entrepreneur, you hit on it. We have to use you got to do a lot of self-evaluation. You got to start with you first.
Especially if you're leading the boat.
Right? The person you put through the ringer, the person, and you said it with Bruce Wayne, the person you train first is you.
Yeah. Before
you train anybody else.
Absolutely.
Because you try to get it so that you can shorten the learning curve.
Absolutely.
So it's days that you like, I'm a fire my own self. I don't know. Like, it's days I want to quit. And it's days that I'm like, girl, you need to be fired. Just go on, just chuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And some of the best
yeah.
advice you gave me over the last 2 years when I've been doing this full time is, I'm like this is who I call, and I'm like, today is a quit day. And she'll be like, girl, go take a nap. And I'm like, take a nap? Can I do that? Right? Who gonna fire me if I'm taking a nap at work?
Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check
me, boo? Right?
Nobody.
Who gonna, you know what I'm saying? Not back in the day, like you might go in the bathroom stall and like close your eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, full flash, go upstairs, go take a nap, and then start over when you feel refreshed. If that ends up being the next day, then so be it. But you've given me the permission and allowed me to be liberated in this space and come out of the confines of traditional business.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
and that comes where you have to, are you creating a space for you to work in, or are you creating yourself a job? Because that is, it's a fine line.
It is.
It's a fine line where you can create yourself a job and do the same thing to yourself that a company would. You've got to be careful of that. What are you creating for yourself, and keeping your mind straight on? The only person that's going to lock you is you.
So what tools do you use to make sure that you don't cross that line over into, we're gonna call it the dark side, right? Because I'm on my whole superhero thing. What do you do so you don't do that? Like, what things are you doing for yourself to make sure that you okay?
So one of the things is I read a lot. I do a lot of reading every morning. That's my quiet time, my devotion time. It's reading. There's always some type of plan that is a spiritual plan that is related to entrepreneurship and self-care. So, and what does that, everybody uses that word very freely, but it looks different for everybody.
I keep talking, but y'all, I done messed my chair up. Go on, keep talking, girl. Like, I shrunk. Okay, go ahead.
People, we use the term self-care, and they're like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. But everybody's self-care routine looks a little different. Some people work out, some people go to sleep. Big shouts out to Dr. Tammy Moore. I'm going to see her every other week, constantly. Like, that's who I have to go see. And then additionally, it is making sure, I do a lot of journaling. For me, that's to be able to get out some of the things that I want to say to clients that I really can't say to you. I put it on paper. And I end up coming back to it. And sometimes it gets turned into content and it's cleaned up. But sometimes I got to get that out. Yeah. And so I pen to paper is journaling. I do a lot of journaling. I take time. I don't get much sleep right now because I just had another baby. But when I did sleep, I would go to sleep. When I did
get to go to sleep, I actually rested.
Yeah, I rested, and then I cook. For me, I cook. So I'm angry or I just need a moment. I cook. I pour it into food, and I want to feed people and stuff like that. Of course, we got the room right now.
And she cooked. Y'all don't understand. Y'all have no idea. And when she would bring stuff, I'd be like, you brought this for me. And I'd be sitting in the cafeteria.
You had your own private container.
Dance. Woo! It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. She cooked with all the love. All right. And I would eat with all the love.
And then sometimes I'm working on two things. And I had to say to someone this past Monday who called me and said, I just went, oh boy, I feel like my day just ain't been going right because I ain't done what I'm supposed to do. And I did this. I spent 2 hours working on this, and it should have only taken me 30 minutes because I knew it. I said, you tired. I said, you tired. I said, but you know what? It's all good. I'm just gonna cry. I said, no, we're not gonna cry. You're not gonna cry. I said, you gotta look at it from this perspective. Let's change the perspective for a moment. You spent 2 hours honing a craft that's going to get used down the road. You just don't see it right now. Okay. So it wasn't 2 hours wasted. It was 2 hours it's going to loop back. You're going to have a full circle moment. I don't know when that's going to happen, but trust me, you just gained another skill set because you went and did all that extra research on something. So even though it should have took you 30 minutes and it took you 2 hours, that's 2 hours that's going to gain you even more return on that investment of time. You didn't lose it. It's an investment. You just ain't got ROI right now. I said, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to close the computer down. Have you eaten? No. Okay, I need you to go get something to eat. And then I just need you to go watch some of your favorite shows. And if you don't end up coming back to that computer until 7, 8 o'clock tonight, then okay. And if you come back to the computer at 7, 8 o'clock at night and you literally be like, I just don't got it. You don't got it. Let it go. Go to bed. Try again. And if you make it to see the next day, tell the Lord, thank you, and try all over again. All right, cool. You know what? I feel so much better. I'm about to go get me something to eat. All right. Food heals all things.
It does, but there's so much in what you said. You allowed all of us that are listening. It doesn't matter what we are, because you started out and said, hey, if you are a CEO, if you running a household. What you did was you allowed all the daddies and the mamas, all the males and the females, all the married people and the single people to give themselves grace. When it ain't going the way we want, you just told us to stop, because our expectations sometimes are unrealistic on our own selves, right? In most cases, it's unrealistic. And you just gave us permission to say, you know what? Let me hit the redo button. And it's okay to say, I don't got it. You just told us practical ways that we can show ourselves grace. Because a lot of times we hear it and you're like, you need to give yourself grace, but we don't know what it looks like. Y'all, she broke that thing down and was like, get you something to eat, step away, do a redo, reevaluate the process, really see what you gained from it, and not look at it as a waste of time, but what you got out of it. What were your takeaways from what happened? Give yourself space and come back and revisit it. That could be hours later. That could be the next day if you make it to the land of the living. But give yourself grace to move in that space. And y'all don't know, I needed that today. I needed to hear that practicality for me, just to remind me that it is okay. I have a laundry, anybody who knows me, I am the queen of to-do lists. And my to-do list don't never end.
Oh, they don't.
And I'm always adding something else to it. And like she said, I'm one of those people who don't work out, and who work out. That's like mine. Like, I gotta go work out, I gotta get it out. I'm that person. And when I don't work out, when I don't rest, when I don't eat, when I don't walk away, I don't show up as my best self. And so we have to be honest with ourselves as entrepreneurs, as head of households, as employees that are working now more from home than we've ever done ever in life, that it's okay for me to get away.
It is.
It's okay for me to go outside. It's okay for me to not be plugged in on the phone, on the Instagram. It's okay. At the end of the day, if I trust the process, right? Because God does all things well. All things well. Y'all, she said she applied for 311 jobs.
Hired for 2.
Hired for 2 and still got laid off. And God got her a business with some staff 8 years later. Allowed her to get married, have 2 beautiful kids, and still be okay. Not only is she not working in her business as much, she gets to work on top of her business. She's also pouring into so many people because she has the opportunity to work on her business.
Absolutely. This
lady is a process and a strategy queen, and y'all don't have any idea. Anytime anybody says non to me, and I mean nonprofits,
non-essential, nonprofit.
Not right. Now who might be charity 50 what? Anything like that. Y'all, this is the person I'm going to send you to. Why? Because y'all heard how not only does she look for principles to work on herself, she pours into her staff. She like, this is not just talk. Like, no, for real, get on the YouTube and look. And yes, I did call it the YouTube. Get on the YouTube and actually look. Don't just listen. Look at this person and feel her spirit. It's going to come through that she truly is genuine. And I'm not saying that just because this is my homegirl. I'm saying this because I know where God is going to take Harper Business Solutions. I know at the top of this company is a person who has a heart for the people. Right? She's told you what her vast experiences are. I'm telling you this because she's candid. If it ain't gonna work, she's gonna tell you, baby, that's not gonna work.
But we can try this.
But we can try this. She does it with love. And I'm not talking about love like your grandma, but love like Christ. Because sometimes Christ will smack us in the face and be like, you tried it. Right? Sometimes she got to turn the tables over.
Oh,
right?
I'm all for that.
Right? And then sometimes he gonna make it a party, he gonna turn the water and wine. Like sometimes she gonna make it a party and be like, boop, keep the party going, right? But we need all aspects of that. The one thing I want to ask you, Myranda, is really, how do you keep it so that the human side of business comes across? The people, the relationship side comes out.
Oh, somebody asked me this recently. I've been doing a CEO accelerator and really doing a lot of professional development with just me, just closed off with myself, and working one-on-one. It's great sometimes to work in big groups, masterminds, networking. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you need to get by yourself. You need to get by yourself and get with somebody that you really trust. Not somebody trying to take your money just because they just taking your money because they say they're good at what they do. Okay, there's enough of that. But somebody you trust and really start to do that intrinsic work. And one of the things that came up, they were like, look, how do you do business? I said, here, this is how I flow in my business and my personal. You can ask me anything up under the sun. You just need to be prepared for the answer. But honesty, transparency, integrity, accountability, and your mindset got to be right. You not on with that, we can't work together. We cannot, because I'm the type of person that when you start to talk to me about your dreams, when you start to talk to me about your vision, there's a intimacy that's involved.
Facts.
That's personal. And that requires me and you to have to be in a space that's vulnerable and have to be in a space that's trusted and has to be in a space that's respected. But the only way that we can really get to the root of what may be going on, where you may need help, where you may be to get some enhancements or things we've got to have honesty and transparency between both of us, because numbers don't lie, people do.
Told y'all, anybody that work with me and y'all hear me say, I got a girlfriend that always say, numbers don't lie, people do. This is who it is.
There you go. People will lie. And eventually what you do, how you are in your business, in your household, is a reflection of who you are personally. It's an extension of you.
It is.
So if you operate your household in pure hell and chaos, your business is going to be in pure hell and chaos. If you are reactive instead of proactive in certain things, guess what? I'm going to see that within your business processes, within your financials. It's going to flow. It's going to seep. But I'd rather deal with somebody who's going to come and say, look, Myranda, I done jacked it up. And I'll be like, okay, well, what we got to do to fix it? How bad did you jack it up? Oh, it's bad. Or either, I don't know, it just got out of hand. I ain't touched it. I ain't did it. Own your shit. That's my phrase all the time. Own it. Stand in your truth. When you can stand in it and you know you did it, or you know you want to do it and you just don't know, when you can stand in it, we can work. Because that means you got the right mindset. You got a willingness to go there. But if we don't have those core things, we can't do nothing together. And that's why when people work with us, and I say us because I've been blessed with people on my team to have that same like-mindedness. Iron sharpens iron.
Facts.
Wood don't sharpen nothing. It gives you splinters that you got to dig out. Okay. So it does. Iron will break wood. Yeah, it's done. It shatters. So iron sharpens iron. And when you work with us, we work on relationship. I got people who work with me, one specifically who works with me, who I made sure was a hiree. I was her boss at one point in time. We worked at the same company. Now I'm in entrepreneurship. She's in entrepreneurship. And that was 11, 12 years ago. And she's entrusted me to hold her $1 million business. Why? Because of relationship that was built way back. Because it was literally the same thing: honesty, transparency, authenticity, integrity, accountability in your mindset. We got those things, we can work. We gotta have a space to be able to have relationship. I'm not a cattle hoarder. We ain't cattle herding nothing. If you want to come over here, get it, hit it, quit it. No, we don't do that.
Ain't gonna hit it and quit it. We're gonna dig deep. And
No,
it may slow cook for a minute.
Gonna roast.
Right.
Rotisserie.
But when it come out,
it's gonna be succulent and divine.
Gonna make it lock solid.
Exactly.
Who are your favorite type of people to work with besides the ones you just explained? Like you want them to be open-minded, but like your ideal client.
Did you see my Grinch ears?
I did. So I'm like, oh no. That just came to me. Like, who's your ideal client?
Our ideal client is the person who, one, and probably some smart people like they know their numbers. No, I don't need that person. I need the person who has an abundance mindset, not a mindset of lack. I need the person that has flexibility. They're coachable, they're teachable. They have a desire to really serve. They're not out here just to they're not just trying to make money so that they can go and be rich. They want to make money because they understand that money has a greater purpose. Reaching beyond numbers. That's what we're all about. It's not just about the money. It's about what are you going to do with that money? So it's working with people who truly have that desire to want to be able to take that money and be able to pour back into other things and other people. We also love working with people that trust us. You trust the professional to do the job you hired us to do. So if you're going to get an accountant, you're going to get a tax preparer, and you want to tell me how to do my job, take your crap and go someplace else. Because if you really knew how to do it, you wouldn't be knocking at my door.
True.
So you need to be in a space where you trust it. And there's some people that have to work to get to that trust. And I have no problem with that. That lets me know I can work with that person when you're teachable, when you're coachable.
Right.
But when you are not, boo, we're going to have a problem.
You're going to fight me every way.
That you're going to fight me. You're going to fight the next person. You're fighting everybody in this world because there's one thing that's inevitable, and that's change.
Yeah.
Change. I would love working with people who truly, and you have some people that are just starting out, and then you have people, everybody's in a different point of their business or in their life, and that's fine. I don't send people away just because you're in the infancy phases. I'm gonna send you you're gonna go away because you may not have no money to pay for me. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but I'm not gonna send you away with nothing. You're going to have something to go back to build upon so that when you're ready, you can. Or I'm gonna send you to the right person who can assist you at that time. You never come over here and get turned away with nothing. Everybody gets something. It just may not be what you anticipated originally.
Right. I'm paying attention. I had to turn that off.
Girl, you
my husband gonna call back, and y'all gonna hear the phone ring.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
No, what's the favorite thing to do in Harper Business Solutions? What's your favorite thing to do? Your most favorite thing to do in your business?
Oh, dang, ain't nobody ever asked me that. Man, I do so much. I'm sitting here going, what's my favorite thing to do? This is gonna sound so cold. My most favorite thing to do is when I figure it out, when we figure out exactly where the aha, oh, this is where it's wrong. Kudos to everybody out here with all these letters behind your name.
She about to go in, y'all.
Kudos. But when you come to me bragging about the last person and you mad and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay. I don't knock you. I'm like, okay, that's great. But when I really get in your stuff and I can see exactly where you went wrong or where that person went wrong or where it got hung up, oh, that's where I'm like, let's go. I like to follow that trail. I like to follow the trail. Every new client we meet with, I'd be like, give me time with your financials. That used to be my favorite thing. When I worked in the nitty gritty of it all, I don't want to talk to you. We're not doing no consult. When you want to, oh, I'm going to sit down and talk to you about the numbers. No, I get with them numbers by myself. And then I start asking you questions about them process.
Y'all got to come online and see this video.
Yo, it's over. It's over. At that point, I'm getting ready to woo. At that point, because it's not even, at that point, it's no longer accounting. We're doing the auditing. We're doing that forensic science.
The forensic side.
We're getting into the nitty gritty. And then because numbers don't lie, they tell a story.
They do.
That tax return, it tells a story.
It does.
All of that tells a story. So at that point in time, I'm able to, at that point, I can look and see what's really going on with you. And then we can have some conversations.
I love it.
That's when I like to talk to people. And then I'm like, so tell me about when this happened. They be like, oh God, how'd you know that?
I love it.
The numbers told me a story. I can see what's going on.
Yes.
And then that's when we can really get to the heart of things.
And fix it. That's the whole thing. And fix it. Not put this Band-Aid on it. No. I can, because y'all have no idea that what she's talking about, that dig deep, even though I can do it, that is not the part I like to do. The part I like to do in my business is I love talking to the clients after we have figured everything out. And I love going to toe, Fran will tell you, I love going toe to toe with the auditors and the IRS and all that. And when you put me in a fight,
let's go.
That's when I shine. When we got to come up with strategy, to figure out how to get you out of something. Like, you know, I'm like, she'll call me and be like, this happened. And I'll be like, okay, all right, this is how you solve the problem. Boom, 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 boom. And if it ends up there, then this is this, and then you got to put them in this entity, like that type of stuff. I get geeked about. So I definitely understand. And my person that I go to when I'm really like, I'm stuck here, this is the person I call, because she'll be like, well, did you look here? Did you look here? Did you think about this? Dig here, ask them this. And her team is excellent at it.
Yeah.
Her team is like we can get on a phone call and go into a strategy session, not even on your exact numbers, but on the theory. Okay, like here's the example. What would I do in this situation? How do I lay this out? And having people like that on your team that you can collaborate with in this space is
priceless.
Priceless is not, you know what I'm saying? It's a dream.
That's an understatement. Yes, it is.
It's a dream come true because we both have our own firms, right? And we do a lot of collaboration. But for somebody to get, like, you can talk mid-sentence and be like, oh, but did you see this? Did you know this is happening? And even though a lot of our tools that we use are similar, the way we operate our businesses are still very unique in our personalities, but it comes from the heart and the core of who we are, and our core values align so well.
Absolutely.
Just because, like you said, it's really about serving the people and giving the people not even what they want, but truly what they need.
That they need
to get to where they want to be at. And it is a vulnerable space.
Yes.
And we got to build a relationship, a partnership, because we are advisors. You say it all the time. We're an investment, right?
Yes, not an expense.
Not an expense. Right. We're an investment that can save you. Like, truthfully, we could cost you money. Like, right? We could. Professionals that do what we do, we could cost you money, but we can also save you money, and we can actually help you get to the next tier. And sometimes you will outgrow us, and there's nothing wrong with that, for you to get to that next level, to be like, all right, I've done all I can with you, baby, but now here's somebody else I want to hand you off to. It's worth it. It's worth it to watch when your stuff comes together and you can make decisions, business decisions, even for y'all that have households, business decisions on the numbers. Like, it's not, dollars aren't, they're inanimate. Money is inanimate, but it causes so much emotion in us that when we take the time to sit down and really look at the numbers and be like, why does it make me feel some kind of way? Like when you said, like, if your stuff is a mess at home and it's like, okay, but can I fix it? How do I dig myself out the hole? And Rich Dad and them always say, well, stop digging, because you got to assess where you at. Don't keep digging, stop. So you can pull yourself out of it. And sometimes going to get help is the best way to get out of it. We don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And ain't nothing wrong with saying, I don't know what I don't know.
But I know somebody who can fix it.
But I know somebody who can fix it and who will talk to me the way I need them to talk to me.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of it is the language and delivery. Like, you're never going to get us suited and booted. The reason why is because we've been there, done that. It's not because we can't do it. There's a certain time and place, because my husband gets on us. There's a certain time and place where we will do it, because it calls for it. But in most cases, it's not just because our generation, everybody out here with hoodies and caps like this. Like, we've lived a life where we had to be suited and booted and had to show up and show them that we was in the building.
Right.
Rand and I work together. Like, I'm trying to tell you, we've had to do it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to put on a costume for you to determine whether or not I'm competent enough to help guide you on this part of your journey.
Absolutely.
I just want to meet you where you at. Right?
Nobody checking for Mark Zuckerberg's khakis.
He wear the same thing all the time. He say he do it so he can think.
Exactly.
Right? There's one less thing I think about.
He got his Charlie Brown outfit. He got his Charlie Brown outfit.
But it works.
Same thing. It works. Okay.
It's working for him, even though stuff going on with Meta right now. But it's still working for him.
Ain't nobody checking for what he got on.
All that pomp and circumstance does not mean competence.
No. And that's where a lot of things are starting to get haywire in the entrepreneurial space, because there's too much glamorizing.
It is.
And
or sound bites. Them sound bites kill
Yeah.
me. You know that. Them sound bites. That's a whole nother podcast, girl.
Everything is not applicable to you just because you heard it.
That's because you heard it. TikTok. Yeah. It was 30 seconds, if that.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't bother you, boo. Not you. It did not. But it's literally just, there are so many aspects of business. And I think this just goes, we live in a world now that is, everything can be masked behind social media. True. I can make it seem whatever I want it to be, and you'll believe it. If I can dress it up, I could put that monkey in a daggone dress and you'd be like, ooh, that monkey hot. That monkey is straight up out of the Congo and has no training. But because I daggone put it up there and everything, you think it looks great. Oh yeah, that's it. No, there are some people that are out here will go and rent a car, do the photo shoot stunt, and then they out here flossing. They are broke as a joke and dumb as I don't know what.
True. They just good at marketing. That's marketing.
They got their skill set to do that. Yeah. But you have to be able to literally have the wherewithal, the discernment, the right questions, like do your research before you step up in somebody's camp.
True.
And then understand that everybody is not really going to be, they're not here for you.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
They're here for your money.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, how do you build?
How do you build? What do you want? What's the type of person you want to work with? You got to have that in mind beforehand. Are you looking for someone that you can build a relationship with,
right?
That you can work with, consistently? Or are you looking just to be in and out?
Correct. And there's nothing wrong with either one.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You got to know what kind of consumer you are.
Yes. What works?
And a lot of times, I don't know. I'm gonna date myself. Like Consumer Reports.
Girl,
you remember that? You remember that? And at the time, like the more and more I get into this, I realize, like I've told you this before, like I feel like I'm building more a boutique type service type thing, right?
Yeah.
but I remember consumer report. I think about how I am as a consumer, right? How like if I really want y'all, like if I gotta buy a computer or anything like I'm reaching out to her and I'm asking her questions and all this kind of stuff, like really, because
it's comedy.
Girl, I don't know. What do this mean? How do this? What kind of phone? I mean, but I want to do this and how, right? But you know who to go to for those resources, and you have to be an informed. We're not informed consumers. We let stuff move us, and they just move the commercials from the TV to our phones. Absolutely. Right? And sound bites with reels and stuff. But we have to be informed consumers. And when it comes to this space, I think I know the expectation is that when you're working with an accountant or like we not in your back pocket. Oh, every time you call, like you don't do it to your doctor. You don't do it to your hairstylist. You don't do it to your nail tech. So why do you feel like it's okay to do that type of stuff with your attorney, right? Your accountant, your financial planner? Just because you're building a relationship, you can't do it the same way. Follow the process, follow the procedures, and understand we got your best interest at heart. No matter how big or how small the firm is. That's really what it should be. And accountants and tax professionals, we are customer service people. And if we are not giving you service and you don't feel comfortable enough asking us questions and feeling okay with the answers, then maybe you should go shop and become a better informed consumer.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. No judgment, no. Nope. It ain't no trends. Like everybody go to this and TurboTax and like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about that. Nope. It really is. It's your money. Like you said, those numbers tell a story and you should have an idea what that story is. So when somebody else reads the story, that y'all are looking at the same thing.
Right. And even if they not, just be willing to, you came to a professional for a reason.
You did.
Because I've had clients where they've come and they don't know what they really got going on. They have no idea. Either they've been in a situation where they've trusted and they've handed it over and they like, okay, well, the accountant is going to work on this side. That gives me the opportunity to work on what I'm good at because I paid somebody else to do this. And they did not, they weren't immersed in those things. So they didn't know. And it's landed them in some hot water.
Yeah.
Or it's so bad now that it's at their door like, hey, it's really bad. And it's like, oh God, I really got to deal with this.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to deal with it. So if you're at that point, you just have to be in a position to be willing to listen, to receive what's being relayed to you.
That's good.
And also be in a position to say, I tell people all the time, financial cleanups do not happen overnight. You did not get into mess overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight. So to have an expectation on your accounting professional to say, hey, I need you to have my books cleaned up because, I'm going to go get this loan in 2 weeks. No, you're not.
Yeah, that's not.
You're not.
That's a good point, Rand. That's a good point. Great point.
You're not. You have to be able to, one, acknowledge and receive, this is where you're at. Acknowledge and receive, this is how you can go forward. Everything that may have happened in the past, that's great. I get it. It's going to come in, little bits and pieces to help the understanding for someone to be able to help you get out of it. Right. But we can't hone on what happened in the past. We got to figure out this is where you at and this is how we got to get forward.
Right.
But you got to be in a place of reception for that. You got to be able to receive it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not ready to receive.
Y'all see my face. She dropped that thing.
They're not ready to receive. And that even comes in your tax situation. Let's put the accountant clients to the side. Let's talk, it's tax season. Some of y'all not ready to receive the fact that you did not look at your pay stub all year long. Now you owe taxes and you mad at us?
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's not right, number one, but it's not fair.
It's not fair. We can't perform miracles in tax prep season. We can't, it's too late. At that point, this is the season. Taxes are the season of reconciliation, not the season of correction. We're in the season of correction right now. This is the time of correction. January just hit last month. So now this is the time, okay, new year. Let me go back and look at them HR documents that I signed 10 years ago that still, that W-4. But my household is altered because I got 3 kids and we done did this and all this, but I never stopped to check my paperwork. It's like owning a house with a loan with equity and you ain't never even looked at it.
Y'all, I'm over here making all these faces. I thought it was gonna be Kiki. She's stepping all on people's toes.
I'm like, come on, you got all these, and then you come to,
it's an ouch moment.
Like, and then you come at tax season with all your heavy burdens and want to lay them down.
Ooh, girl.
We ain't Jesus. This ain't the altar. And even then, let's be real. You lay it on the altar, they ain't getting solved right then. Okay.
Come on, preacher.
You still gotta wait. You still got to do the work. So why do you the expectation is not now? This is the time for you to start assessing what you got. Okay, I need to look. This is tax preparation season. Prepare, reconcile. We are not in the mode of
fix it.
Okay, fix what we did. That's great.
Because we're looking at last year.
That's last year.
But we can leverage it. We can definitely leverage it to move forward. Oh, yeah. Because it gives us lessons. It tells us how to adapt, adjust, and improvise, right?
Absolutely. That's what this for. That's the big thing. But to have expectations of us to resolve or to make things happen. No, this is a reconciliation.
No, that's not what tax season is for.
It's a reconciliation of what you did.
Right.
Not what the IRS did to you, not what your tax preparer didn't do for you. It's a reconciliation for you.
Right.
We need to call tax season therapy session. Like, look back at your life.
No, what they say, DOG, come with, we got to have a come to Jesus meeting.
We got to have a come to Jesus meeting, a come to Jesus moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what
it's a reconciliation period. You get to reconcile. You know how they talk about, think of it when you lose somebody. Mm-hmm. And you got to go through that grieving process or that reconciliation process to get through it.
Exactly what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. It's the end of that year, that cycle. Everybody talk about 12/31 and everybody sets resolutions for 1/1. No, tax season is really the time where you start looking at your resolutions and your reconciliations of your life. Correct. That's really what it is.
It is. You
don't have no expectation as far as to come in here and fix your life. We ain't a Yana Van Zandt on a weekend or special on. No, that's not what this is. It's not what it is.
They wanted to, but it'll let you know, hey, maybe I do need to adjust.
Absolutely, it gives you a baseline.
That's exactly what it is. Great.
It gives you a baseline.
That's exactly what it is. It's a baseline.
And for those that have got it and understand it, they use it every year and throughout the year to adjust where they need to be. So that way they're already ready come reconciliation time. It's unfair for y'all folks that we talk to once a year to come over here and start knocking on our doors acting crazy. You don't sit your tail down somewhere.
Right. That's hard.
Hard
work. Get on a plan where you come and get to have a talk more than one time. I say at a minimum, I encourage quarterly.
Yes.
But at a minimum, you need to check in.
At least half the year.
Hey,
how you doing? I'm thinking about this.
Yeah. Hey, this is what we did. Before you do it, not after, because now I can't help you figure out how this is going to impact you. It's too late. Did you do this already?
Yeah.
Oh, especially when people taking out a retirement. Oh, the TSP and the retirement. You took the money to do what? Did you withhold the taxes? Did you take? Not spend all of it.
I just took all of it.
You spent all of it till you spent. Oh, it wasn't a lot. No, it wasn't. I just took the money.
I just took the money because they said, "Who is they? Who's they?" Usage of undefined pronouns. What?
The money. Okay, Willa. Okay, Willa.
Well, you're gonna pay this tax bill, and then we'll talk about what you should not do.
You just like, okay.
You will take this tax bill and then we'll talk about how we can help you during this year.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Well, Rand, I am so grateful that you've taken time out of your schedule. I know anybody hearing this, hopefully y'all stay to the end. Tell the people how they can reach you.
HarperBusinessSolutions.com.
Why you do your face like that? Do that again. Tell the people how they can reach you with some enthusiasm.
Oh, If you would like to get in touch with Harper Business Solutions, you can find us at www.harperbusinesssolutions.com. Also on Facebook and IG, which is at Harper Business Solutions. Make sure you put that. Harper Business has 2 S's and solution also does. So that's 3 S's all in there. So don't mess that up. Okay. Learn how to spell. But yeah, that's how you can find us. We're online, book discovery calls. Those things are there. We're here for it. I get people that also track me down through other people to be like, hey, Patrice, can you get in touch? You know, Patrice, you know where to find me. I'm not hard to find. My name is spelled with a Y, just in case, because I've had somebody, I can't find you. My name is not spelled M-I like your Myranda writes. It is pronounced the same way, but it's spelled M-Y. So that's how you find us. But harperbusinesssolutions.com, that's your first rodeo. Like I said,
appreciate
at Harper
that.
Precision Heart.
Harper
Facebook,
Business
yeah.
Solutions
HARPER Business Solutions.
with an
Reaching
S at the
beyond
end,
numbers.
peoples.
That's right. Reaching beyond numbers. You put in reaching beyond numbers, Harper Business Solutions, it's all gonna come up. That's me.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time,
Girl, yeah,
Myranda.
anytime.
Myranda.
You know, I ain't got to worry about, I'm not sitting right now with the 4-month-old attached to me, looking at me like, hey, we're gonna eat again. And I'm not in doing something else, it's things like this I enjoy to do. Really, really.
I'm honored. And when people
I'm
listen
proud
to
of you,
this,
girl.
I'm so
Proud of
honored
you.
that you took the time out. Y'all, so y'all know when it's a year from now or 2 years from now, when y'all see her on platforms, understand I knew her when.
Well, go speak at,
When I knew her when, and then when she get out there, and then I'm gonna just throw back Thursdays. This is what I'm gonna throw back.
Stupid.
I'm gonna throw back to this and be like, remember when you was on my podcast before you was on the TV?
Okay, but no, because see, this what's gonna happen, and see, this what y'all don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell. Yeah, I'm gonna tell it. Because see, I'm gonna be on the platform, but then I'm gonna be like, so what you think about that, Patrice? She'd be like, I didn't sign up for this.
I didn't sign up for this.
Because I'm gonna have you right there, girl. Right there.
This is exactly why we ending this podcast now, y'all. Join us next week when we have talks with the tax cop. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, Rand.
You're welcome.
All y'all listening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for staying in there. All right. Talk to y'all next week. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.